countries between Nigeria and China. The Ogun State government is restating commitments to achieving the mission of the Teach for Nigeria program. South Korea's Presidential Security Service boss has resigned. President Bola Tinubu has the government of the People's Republic of China to increase the $2 billion currency swap between Nigeria and China to enhance trade between the two countries. The president also called for an upward review of the $50 billion aid package for Africa, which China. The president, who gave the advice while receiving the Minister of Foreign Affairs of China, Mr. Wang Yi, at the State House in Abuja, posited that increasing the level of currency swaps will speed up infrastructural development in Nigeria and deepen strategic bilateral relations. According to him, Africa's infrastructural needs would require more commitment, urging a review of the new amounts to reflect the continent's reality. He called on China to support Nigeria's bid for a permanent United Nations Security Council seat. The Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) has announced the suspension of approvals for the extension of export proceeds repatriation. The CBN's acting director of Trade Department, Dr. W.J. Kanya, made the announcement in a circular on Thursday. According to the Apex Bank, the move, which aims to enforce compliance with existing foreign exchange regulations, will also apply to both oil and non-oil export transactions. It added that proceeds of oil and non-oil exports are to be repatriated and credited into the exporter's export proceeds domiciliary accounts within 180 and 190 days. The federal government has called for unified efforts by stakeholders to tackle the emerging COVID-19 variants in the country. The Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Ali Pati, made the call at a strategic meeting on COVID-19 preparedness and response, represented by a Director in Public Health, Mrs. Chidinma Agbai. Professor Pati highlighted the devastating global impact of the pandemic and Nigeria's resilience in spite of the initial dire predictions. The minister warned against misinformation and urged collaboration among stakeholders, including health officials and the media, to strengthen border controls. In another development, the government at the center has announced immediate measures to address the high cost of food in the country. The Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, announced these on his official X account. He stated that there will be a 150-day duty-free import window for food commodities. According to him, the window will include the suspension of duties, tariffs, and taxes for the importation of food commodities through land and sea borders. Back home, Ogun State is committed to becoming the reference point for Teach for Nigeria. This is as the current administration pledged continuous efforts to absorb fellows of the program who meet the state government requirements. Governor Dr. Abiodun stated this when he played host to the management team of Teach for Nigeria program, who were in the state for their retreat. According to him, his administration, in line with the current realities, has increased the wages of the Teach interns to 80,000 naira. You're listening to the Media News on OGBC FM. The head of South Korea's Presidential Security Service, Jun, has resigned after warning the authorities to avoid bloodshed in any attempt to arrest impeached President Yoon Suk-yeol over his short-lived declaration of martial law. Mr. Jun stepped down this Friday amid an investigation into the allegations of obstruction of public duty. However, the office of acting President Choi Sang-mok confirmed that it had accepted Mr. resignation after he appeared for police questioning earlier in the day. Speaking at the questioning, Mr. Park informed that many citizens were concerned about the possibility of violence if investigators sought to execute another arrest warrant against Mr. Yoon. Venezuela's president, Mr. Nicolas Maduro, who has been in office since 2015, opposition leader Ms. Maria Machado, who came out of hiding to lead a demonstration in Caracas on Thursday, was briefly detained after the rally reigniting international condemnation of Mr. Maduro's alleged vote stealing and suppression of critics, but the government denied arresting her. Ms. Machado had earlier made a defiant speech to thousands of supporters in central Caracas, sending a message to the government that she is not afraid. Reports say there was also arrest in Paris. There was also protest in Paris attended by Ms. Machado's daughter, Ms. Ana Corina Sols, and dozens of supporters. The United States Supreme Court on Thursday denied a last-minute bid by President-elect Mr. Donald Trump to stop sentencing in his hush money case. The top court, which includes three justices appointed by Mr. Trump, rejected his emergency application seeking to block this sentencing by a 5 to 4 vote. The court, in a brief order, said the burden that such sentences will impose on the president-elect's responsibilities is relatively insubstantial and noted that Mr. Trump will be allowed to attend virtually. It also noted that the judge who presided over the hush money case has already said he plans to impose a sentence of unconditional discharge, which does not carry any jail time, fine, or probation. Guinea's junta-led government has demanded the suspension of all political movements that it deemed without authorization, as the country's military leaders limited a possible elections this year. The Minister of Territorial Administration and Decentralization, Mr. Ibrahima Khalil Kounde, in a statement noted with regret the proliferation of political movements without prior administrative authorization. Under international pressure, the military leaders had initially pledged to hold a constitutional referendum and hand power to elected civilians by the end of 2024, but neither has happened. Meanwhile, junta chief General Domboya, in a New Year speech, said that 2025 will be a crucial electoral year to complete the return to constitutional order. And now to sports. The International Paralympic Committee (IOC) has placed a 3-year ban on Nigeria's powerlifter Kudirat Al Maroof for doping allegation. In a statement issued by IPC, it confirmed the presence of an anabolic agent of exogenous origin in Al Marouf's urine sample that was provided out of competition on the 11th of July 2024. The IPC informed that it confirmed the presence of an agent of exogenous origin in Al Marouf's urine sample. The athlete was provisionally suspended by the IPC 19th, 2024, pending a resolution of a case. The socio-economic development of the country can be enhanced through a concerted effort. Play your own part for the sustenance of the society. To end the media news, another look at the major items. Receiving the Minister of Foreign Affairs of China, Mr. Wang Yi, at the State House in Abuja, President Bola Tinubu called for currency swap increase between Nigeria and China. The Ogun State Governor, Prince Dapo Abiodun, while playing host to the management team of Teach for All and the Teach for Nigeria program at his office in Okemoson, restated commitments to achieving the mission of the program. You also heard that the head of South Korea's presidential service, Mr. Park Jong-hoon, has resigned. The media news was edited by Idris Adelakun and broadcast from OGBC Belkuta. For exclusive programs and the latest news updates, visit our website at ogunradio.ng. Follow us on Facebook at Ogunradio Belkuta and on X at OGBC 905 FM. You can also listen to OGBC on the Radio Garden.